Hello there people, this is Bruce Cool or nintenbruce here, back again with another deck recipe for the September 2013 ban list format for Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is on Dev Pro, being displayed on Dev Pro rather. This is my Reap What You Sow deck. I absolutely adore this deck. Not many people play zombies anymore, which is a shame, and Reap on the Nightmare is a fantastic card. One of my all-time favourites, even when it was released in Pharaonic Guardian. Absolutely loved fusing for it back in the day. But yeah, it's more support for it than ever nowadays. So here we are, lovely little original deck. And it's easy to pick up and play with, which is nice, but as a pro figuring out all the combos and stuff, you'll realise there's a lot of sticky situations you can get out of, which is nice. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I'll just do the usual thing, which is going through the monsters, then the spells, then the traps, and I'll cover as many combos as I can in between that. So starting off, we have one Dark Dust Spirit. Its effect absolutely amazing. When it's flipped face up or normal summoned, then you blow up every other monster that's in face up position, I guess you could say, whether it's face up defense or face up attack. They're just gone. So it's kind of like a miniature dark hole, and you still keep Dark Dust Spirit on the field. At the end of the turn that it's being flipped face up or being summoned though, it does go back to your hand. That's no worries for you though, because there's so much special summoning material here that you can summon it out more than once, and in fact I think it suits it well that it goes back to your hand. You don't want to lose that effect at all now, do you? There's not enough room to use more than one of him. Definitely play just the one. We have two Endless Decay. Its effect is when it's normal summoned or special summoned, you gain attack points equal to the, equal to half the life points that your opponent currently has, and that's a set amount. So, say you summon it out and your opponent hasn't been hit yet, they're on 8,000 life points. You've got an attack of 4,000 there. When you do damage to it, you're still at 4,000 attack, which is lovely. Only thing that really affects it are skill affecting things, so things like effect failure especially, and I believe skill drain as well, where once they're removed, the attack kind of gets reset and it just appears as 0. That's the problem with these question mark cards. But Endless Decay, still brilliant. More often than not, you're not going to be tributing it, you're actually going to be special summoning out with Pyramid Turtle, and on top of that you can use it with Mezuki as well, get it out of the graveyard. There's tons of ways of getting this out, including what you see right there as well. If you have 2,000 life points or less, you can just simply special summon it as well. It's an amazing zombie card, a big thing I'd say for them. So yeah, run 2 of those I'd say. 3 Goblin Zombies, even though they're not high on attack by themselves, they're a brilliant little sort of tribute or a bit of a fodder out there really to gain the zombie card you need. So when it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you choose a zombie type monster from your deck with 1200 or less defense, add it to your hand. So whether that be Endless Decay, Pyramid Turtle, Spirit Reaper, in fact it's almost anything here, which is just amazing, absolutely amazing. Yeah, there's not a lot more I can say than that really. There's 3 of them for Inferno Reckless Summon, which is nice. Yeah, it's a brilliant little card. Definitely love its effect. 2 Mezuki, just because you have to with zombie decks. Its effect, when it's in the graveyard, you can banish it and special summon one of your zombie type monsters in your graveyard, which is lovely. So say you get out Reaper on the Nightmare, it goes to the graveyard with instant fusion. You then use Mezuki to just bash it back out again. And on top of that, 1700 attack isn't too bad, so even just to stick on the field and start beating things up a bit. Absolutely amazing card. I can understand why it's you know, not maxed out at 3, because that would just be absolutely ridiculous. Still though, use 2. Definitely use that many. We got 1 Nightmare Horse. Now I see you guys thinking, what the hell are you playing at, Bruce? Well, you know what? It sees a bit more play than, I won't say anything else, but to how you would think. It wouldn't necessarily just be on the field, do the 1 attack and then it gets destroyed next turn. You could use it for discard fodder, whether it would be for Zombie Master. Well, in fact, it is usually Zombie Master. But on top of that, you can summon it out, and if Solidarity's there, you can do a cheeky little direct attack on either 1300 attack or 2100 attack. Yeah, don't disregard this card, but I wouldn't play more than 1 unless you're on a deck which is quite stally. So yeah, 1 Nightmare Horse, 2 Plaguespreader Zombies, because it's a zombie deck. You know, the meta's been changed a little bit. I would definitely run 2, even if it means losing a card in your hand. End of the day, you can dump these with was it, Zombie Master anyway as well. And it's tuning to not Dark Ruler Hades, the Revived King Hades. It's an amazing card, so yeah, 2 of those definitely. We have 3 Pyramid Turtles. You just usually have to with a zombie deck. When it's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, special summon a zombie type monster from your deck with 2000 or less defense. Again, that's the majority of things here, which is just lovely. We then have 3 Spirit Reapers. Its effect is amazing. You're going to be pulling off more often than most, where you just do a direct attack and discard a card from your opponent's hand. Yes, it's still got the horrible effect where if it's targeted, period, then it's usually destroyed. But if the opponent doesn't have anything to target with, you can stick this in face down defense position, or even just defense position, period. Your opponent won't be able to do much with it. Even if they mind control it, they won't actually be able to keep it because it gets destroyed. This is a brilliant card, and with Solidarity out, there's going to be a whole world of pain. 2 Zombie Masters. Again, bit of the beat stick behind here as well, especially with Solidarity. Its effect, discard a level 4 or a lower zombie type monster from a... Oh, sorry, it's a monster card. I'm reading the wrong part there. I should know this, I play the deck. Anyway, discard a monster card from your hand and then target a level 4 or lower zombie type monster in either player's graveyard and special summon it. So if your opponent runs zombies or runs a Plaguespreader of their own, great, you can nab it if you really wanted to. But yeah, absolute beat stick as well. Even with 1 Solidarity out, it's 2600 attack. So that's all the monsters so far. We're then going into spells. So 3 Books of Life might seem a bit overkill, but it is needed, especially with the amount of special summoning and choosing you get to do. And it hacks away at the opponent's graveyard, which is just lovely. Bearing in mind, you can use this with Reaper on the Nightmare again as well once it's special summoned out properly. 1 Book of Moon, because why not? You can target your Spirit Reaper because it's a faster spell speed if you really wanted to. You can target an opponent's monster, which just has a horrible effect for you. I'd definitely say run this. 1 Dark Hole, just goes without saying. Foolish Burial, you can aim for those Plaguespreader Zombies. You can aim for Mezuki if you really wanted to. You could even aim for a different monster entirely. So what I like doing sometimes is, if I know I've got Mezuki in the graveyard already, I aim for Endless Decay and then bring Endless Decay out with Mezuki's effect. Amazing, amazing. 2 Inferno Reckless Summon. This card barely sees any play anymore either. So I'll go through the effect. Activate only when 1 monster with 1500 or less attack is special summoned to your side of the field, while your opponent controls a face-up monster. And that could be anything, an XYZ monster, fusion monster, whatever's there really. And what happens is, you special summon as many copies of the card you just special summoned. Your opponent special summons as many of the card that they've got on their side of the field as well. If it's an XYZ monster, they can't do that, which is lovely. Same with if it's a fusion or a synchro. Amazing. And what you're usually going to get is either a ton of Spirit Reapers out, a ton of Goblin Zombies, especially the plus you can get off of that once they go to the graveyard. You can even aim for Reaper on the Nightmare if you really wanted to. Bearing in mind you can't get them out the extra deck, but if they've been put in your graveyard thanks to instant fusion, then great, special summon them out. Yeah, 2 of these definitely. And also this can be swapped out in the side deck if you know it's you're running against an opponent which doesn't use XYZ monsters or rely on synchros in particular. Yeah, definitely a brilliant card that not many people expect. Remember, you can't use this with Pyramid Turtles effect because that's in the middle of the damage step, I will say that. So usually when you special summon something out, you can't chain this to it because you're in the middle of being attacked and all that sort of stuff, you know, it's mid-calculation. But feel free to do it with something like Mezuki. You can do it with, say, Zombie Master as well. You could do it with Book of Life. The other thing as well, there was something quite important about this, that was it. Be careful when you're using things like Solidarity, because you're permanently boosting up your monster. So say you bring out Pyramid Turtle and Solidarity's out, it sets the attackers 2000, so you can't use Inferno Reckless Summon on it. Yeah, but yeah, that's an easy thing to remember once you've got into the gist of it. 2 Instant Fusion. It's there for Reaper on the Nightmare obviously, but besides that, summon out Reaper on the Nightmare, Tribute for Endless Decay or Dark Dust Spirit. You can even tune with it if you really wanted to, but I wouldn't suggest tuning too often because of Solidarity, you lose out on its effect. But yeah, Instant Fusion, brilliant. You can only activate 1 per turn, bearing in mind you can't use it when Pot of Duality is being played as well. 1 Mystical Space Typhoon. As you can see, there are 2 more in the side deck if needed. 2 Pot of Dualities as well. very, very decent searching, can help you search out the solidarities. I've been quite lucky recently where I choose Duality and it brings out a solidarity more often than not. Again, just remember you can't special summon afterwards, but it doesn't matter. Feel free to set that Pyramid Turtle, or the Plaguespreader Zombie, or the Goblin Zombie, or summon the Mezuki normally, or set the Spirit Reaper. You've got tons of options. You don't have to special summon at all to win a game with it. 3 solidarities, as already hinted at, the deck is very, very powerful with it. So its effect, if you've got just one original print type monster in your graveyard, then everything else on the field with that type on your side of the field gains 800 attack as well. So Spirit Reaper will go up to 1100 or 1900 or even 2700, which is nice. I've had Plaguespreader Zombie on 2000 attack before. That was very, very nice as well. Yeah, you can't do without this, I'd say. Not unless you're side decking in certain cards, and even then I'd be a bit hesitant on getting rid of Solidarity. Going into traps now. 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, Compulsory Evacuation device, very, very helpful indeed. A Dimensional Prison, a Mirror Force, and a Torrential Tribute. So the traps can mostly be chained, usually to summons, which is nice, and even with the attack you've got the choice of either destroying something, or if a Stardust Dragon is going against you, then Dimensional Prison. Brilliant stuff, brilliant stuff. Extra deck now, 3 Brick Reaper on the Nightmare. Now, for those of you that don't know the effect, it's Nightmare Horse and Spirit Reaper combined, so it can not only attack directly, but it still gets the effect of discarding opponent's card from the hand. Absolutely amazing card. Ducks under Messenger of Peace as well, and still can't be destroyed by battle. Yes, it can still be targeted and destroyed, but doesn't matter, you've got so much special summoning material. Remember, Instant Fusion classes as a proper fusion summon, so feel free to use Book of Life afterwards. Yeah, oh, beautiful, beautiful card. Then the Synchros, got Catastor, Doomkaiser Dragon, a Psychoconductor Behemoth. He's quite good as well because of the removal, and you can still have Solidarity going on. 2 Dark Ruler Hades, Blackrose, and a Stardust. Also XYZs, we've got a Zenmaines, 2 Diamond Eye Wolf, a Heavy Machinery King Digvorzhak, or just the English version, Digvorzhak, King of Heavy Industry. Fantastic. And also number 61, Volcasaurus. Amazing cards. What I will say about the Synchros that aren't zombie, as well as all the XYZ monsters you see here, is I would use them as a last ditch attempt. Like, if I won't say if you're desperate, but if you know there's nothing else you can do, then feel free to bring them out. Remember, the last thing you really want is ruining your Solidarity and not having your zombies beefed up. But even still, Endless Decay can finish a lot of duels, so as long as that's floating around, you should be fine. But yeah, last ditch resort, Blackrose Dragon, things like that, okay? Side deck now. So if you want to change it up a bit and weren't too fussed with Solidarity, you've got a Dark Arm Dragon, you know, there's plenty of darks here, and you've got a lot of graveyard control here. An extra Nightmare Horse for those stallers, so you can, you know, just cut through their defences and attack directly. A Pain Painter, an Archfiend Zombie Skull as well, to obviously go in with Pain Painter. Feel free to side Pain Painter. That's so hard to say so many times. Feel free to side in PP against Nightmare Horse if you wanted to. We've got a 3rd Instant Fusion, bearing in mind you can still use Inferno Reckless Summon out to bring out 3 of these if you really wanted to, if you bumped into all 3 Instant Fusions. 2 Forbidden Lance, like I said already, the last 2 Mystical Space Typhoons. A Black Horn of Heaven, why not? An extra Dimensional Prison, return from a different dimension, very, very nice with Mezuki and others that get Bottomless Trap Hold and all sorts. Solemn Warning, and 2 Teuton Mask. Teuton Mask, negate the activation and the effect of a spell or trap card that targets one face-up zombie type monster and destroy it. So if someone goes for Mind Control, Dimensional Prison, Compulsory Evacuation device, yeah, this will stop it dead, and there's no cost to it, which is lovely, absolutely lovely. So that is the Reap What You Sow deck. As I've already mentioned, very, very easy to pick up and play, so for anyone new to the game, feel free to use this and start getting into the whole Yu-Gi-Oh world. For those experts, you can see a few nice little things here, and it's not terribly overpowered or anything, but like I say, it can definitely hold its own, and it's original as well. No longer will you be, well, you'll still be going up against Fire Fists and all that, you know, that's 1 in 2 or 1 in 3 duels, same with the E-Dragons, but what you're going to do, this is quite powerful. So, pop your comments in the section below. Let me know your thoughts. Definitely have a play with it and let me know what you thought about it as well. And until next time guys, you take care and I will see you again soon.